Hey folks, MKSilverSax here. I'm back after a while of not streaming, and we're going to do something a little bit different this evening. I'm using a piece of software called VCV Rack, which is essentially kind of like a simulator or a virtual modular synth setup, kind of sandbox. Anyway, so we're going to get right into it and see if everything looks and sounds okay. But before we do that, I'm going to check the health of the stream. So I will be back in a second. All right, everything looks like it's sounding okay and streaming okay. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Before I give this kind of, I don't know, internet performance, I'm just going to show you what I have on the modular setup that I have. So everything comes from the sequencer. I have two different rows that are active at the moment. The top row has mainly pitches that feed into the modal synthesizer, and that is going to give some sort of melodic thing. I don't know. And then the second row, I'm basically using as trigger gates, and you'll notice that I have wires coming off of those and going into mixers and tidal modulators, and they are going to essentially be the conga drums. I have it set up so the frequency is kind of matching what you would normally hear out of like a drum in a percussive way. And then over here I have another wait, those are not from those. I take that back. Sorry. The drums are from 1 and 3 here. So the yellow wire and the green wire. And I have those hopping over, triggering the tidal modulators and getting essentially they're kind of swapping some frequency with the resonators over here to give a kind of a cool drum sound. In fact, I'll go ahead and play one of those for you. Let's see, cover that up. Right now I'm using the channel in the control voltage as mutes at the moment. So that's my second channel right here, second channel out. You can see the lights activating. Looks like we got a couple people joining us tonight. I saw TGM49 came in and said, hey. That was on the first trial of me trying to stream this. The problem was the executable changed names or something, and I had it so that the title had to match within Streamlabs OBS. So as soon as I made any sort of change on the screen, it went black. So I switched that now. We're good. Okay. Let's go back to, we're going to reset that. Set it back to 40 beats per minute. And then I also have a sine wave frequency coming out from the voltage control oscillator. And I have it kind of modulating within the tact decay, sustain and release module, and also the voltage control frequency adjuster. And that's going to the way I have it set up is it's going to give kind of like a bass tone, but with like almost like a record scratch at the beginning of it. So let's go ahead and bring the tempo back up to about 250. I'll let you hear that. I could adjust a lot of things on there. Anything on these 3 panels is going to allow me to adjust that sound. All right, well, that's enough of that. Take that back to 40. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this started. I'm sure you guys want to hear it. So again, I'm using like these patches right here over on the mixer as my attenuators for the time being. So that's what I'm going to do. Take off for line 1. And here we go. This piece is called Cyberainforest. Right. So that was Cyberainforest. It's kind of a, I don't know, very basic setup. Moog Lee got me into this. In fact, hey Moog Lee, how's it going? In fact, he deals with the real stuff. He's got his own Euro rack at home, modular synth, and you head on over to his YouTube and or Twitch. Do you do this on Twitch as well, Moog? You'll see that he does some live streaming and or recordings of some pretty cool stuff. So make sure to hop on over to Moog Lee on YouTube or Twitch and check out his stuff. So I guess one of the things I'd like to do is just see what some of this can lead to. So I have this weird, I don't know what I have that there for. But I can actually adjust the clock tempo with that. So if I started those again, let's see, clock tempo is set to 40 beats per minute right now. Go ahead and hit run. I'm gonna bring this over. So the clock is normally set to 40 beats per minute, but I sent the triangle wave in there, and apparently it messes with the clock when you do that, because then it works off of the stop that. It works off the frequency, obviously. So you're putting a frequency over to the clock, so you're actually giving it not a synthetic tempo, you're actually giving it a tempo, but the tempo is actually coming from the voltage control oscillator instead of its own internal clock within the module itself. It's kind of a cool, you'll notice that you could kind of move around the different modules. You right click, you can set other things. For example, where is the MIDI gate? I think this is the one right here. So I think I go from gate to here. Windows MIDI computer keyboard. There we go. The voltage octave adjustment. There we go. That technically should work. Let me bring that over. Forgot how it was set up. I think it goes from gate. It doesn't go from velocity, does it? No. Maybe I have too much plugged in here. Low pass frequency. Oh. It's volt per octave. Standard CV. Yes, okay. One-twelfth of a volt is half a step. Yep, okay. Yeah, I remember he was teaching me about that. 112. Okay. You have a gate going into the filter frequency. Oh, okay. I should probably put it in the actual gate itself. Maybe I need another one of these. Oh yeah, that's right. Gate turns it on or off. Okay, and why is that still making noise? It should stop now. Oh, it's because I had the, I know what I just did there. Silly. All right. There's still a lot I need to work on here.
Hey.
Hey, how's it going? Speaking of Moog, here's Moog.
So you can't use your gate like that.
Yeah, I just figured that out.
Okay. FM is frequency modulation. So if you put like an LFO in there,
It does, yeah,
then it'll
changes pitch.
woo, 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 woo. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what you want is an ADSR.
Another one, huh?
Sitting there. Yeah.
So I'll just duplicate that. Okay, so and then the gate from the MIDI CV can go into the ADSR, right?
Mm-hmm. And then the ADSR just generates a control voltage, like a profile.
Right.
And then you use that for whatever. If you want to use it for the volume of it, then you need a VCA.
Okay.
Yeah, leave that there.
Leave the gate into the gate, right?
No. The no.
You're, by the way, you're probably seeing like at least 30 seconds behind, unfortunately.
Yeah, I am. No, keep the MIDI to CV V per octave back into the VCO.
Okay. And then I need to bring this do I have to go through the VCF frequency modulator? Or should I just go directly to the mixer?
No, but right now you don't have any pitch doing anything. And right now the output of your oscillator is modulating the filter frequency.
Oh.
Which doesn't make sense. You have the sine wave output of
your
oscillator.
I see. Yeah.
It's modulated. Now you can do that. You can use it as an LFO. It's not quite that slow.
Right.
And then, okay, wait, see the ADSR output?
Mm-hmm.
You want to put that in the, let me think here. Does it go into the, yeah, it goes into the CV of channel 3.
CV of channel 3, okay.
Mm-hmm. Because it's not generating audio, it's generating control voltage.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
So then put that sine out into channel 3 input there, and then the ADSR output into CV3.
It's not allowing me to double it.
I broke your brain. Well, no, not that ADSR. You have 2.
Oh, okay.
You're trying to make a voice that you can play with your keyboard, right?
Right.
So undo what you just did. I don't know what you're doing
now. All right, so the top or bottom ADSR?
The bottom one.
Bottom one, okay.
I don't know where it was before. Like that, your first ADSR went someplace. I think it went to the filter frequency.
Yeah, well, I had it actually going to the input for the VCF. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that doesn't do any good.
Yeah.
So go into the frequency of the VCF.
Okay.
With that, the top ADSR.
The top ADSR. frequency of it.
Not the in of the filter.
Okay.
The frequency.
Oh.
Again, it's a control voltage. It's not audio.
Oh, okay.
Now, I'm not sure what you've got going into your filter normally.
Hmm. Good question. I forgot.
It looks like nothing because you don't have another VCO that's doing anything. Although you can use that mutable instruments thing at the top center.
Oh yeah. Mutable.
All that stuff with the white, red, and
Yeah,
aqua
yeah.
knobs, that's all
Yeah.
clones of mutable instruments stuff.
Right.
Their stuff is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it's all open source too. So they're just like, here, we're going to sell these. Oh, and we're also going to give you the schematics and the parts list if you want to make your own.
Oh wow. That's
And
really
then
cool.
all the software is open source. So go nuts.
Ha.
Yeah. They're pretty sweet.
I mean, technically, I could just,
Yeah, so you have modal synthesizer, but it looks like you have the output going directly to the mixer already. So that's already done.
right. I'm just not getting any sound.
Okay. It's just that you have a sequence on row 2 that's going to...
Except that shut
I
off.
don't even know.
Yeah. I know.
Well, you can just press run and it'll start again.
That's true.
Are you going to start a new one?
No, what I was going to do was, well, yeah. Yeah, so I'm just...
You were getting sound before, though, so...
yeah, like little thuds. Not much.
Yeah. That was your filter.
Right.
Like whatever you had going into the filter, it was just kind of going chop, 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 doing fast cutoffs, which is basically how you make a really cool techno bass drum.
True. Yeah.
Like sine wave going into a filter with fast decay on it on the ADSR.
Ahaha. There we go. There we
I
go.
like that program has an oscilloscope built in. I'd like to get one for my modular, but they're expensive.
So yeah, it's definitely a learning curve on it.
Oh yeah.
The notes kind of helped for the first 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, there's a lot of trial and error.
Well, the biggest thing is keeping your audio and your CV separate in your mind.
Right, because there are two interfaces, audio and voltage.
Yeah. I mean, they're completely different. Like they're not cross-compatible really at all. Mostly. I mean, the place where those lines get blurred when you take a VCO. Here, try this.
Okay.
Okay. Load up another VCO.
Okay. What am I doing here? Right click on it. Duplicate. There we go.
Right click.
Yep. Another VCO up.
Okay. And take the sine wave out and bring it into the FM input of your other VCO.
Uh-huh. Okay. Done.
Yeah, the video's lagging behind by like 20 seconds. Okay.
Okay.
Turn the frequency, the VCO, the second one, turn it like all the way down.
Okay.
And now go to the first VCO and
Okay.
turn up the FMCV knob.
Oh.
You should start to hear like a wee
Yeah.
wee wee wee, like a vibrato from that.
I like that. That's pretty sweet.
I'm waiting for it to catch up.
Oh, it will.
Hmm.
By the way, folks, if you want to toy around with this, it is free. All you have to do is go to Google and type in VCV Rack.
They just came out with version 1.0, like the official first
Yeah,
release, like
it's
last week.
yeah. And I haven't tried the ones before, but I've seen a lot of people on YouTube use the previous versions, and this version looks like it added a
Now,
lot more features.
supposedly this will run as a VST also,
Oh,
which means you could use it like in Ableton or whatever DAW you have, and have
right.
like a modular thing in there,
Not only that, but if
which
you're out
is
there and you
interesting.
have, if you have your own physical modular synths, it interfaces with that as well.
Yeah.
So you could have like half virtual modular synth and half.
Okay. Now try
Okay.
some extreme FM.
Ex,
Okay.
ex,
Take your second VCO and
okay.
crank the frequency way up,
Okay.
like halfway, and then you play a note while you do it so you can hear the change. So as that VCO gets into audio range and audio starts doing a frequency modulation on the first one, all kinds of hell breaks loose. It's
Yeah.
great stuff.
Oh, multiphonics.
Yep. And you start getting sidebands and all kinds of stuff.
uh,
And you can make your own fart noises all the time.
wub 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 wub. uh, but yeah, I mean that's pretty cool. Now the like the oscilloscope, uh, do they make like small
Yeah,
versions like just like that
yeah.
in real life? You could put one on
There's
your.
two modules that I can think of offhand. One is called the Mordax Data,
Mm-hmm.
and the other is called the O'Toole. Now remember I was telling you about those IntelliGel cases
Right.
that have the extra 1U like row. There's these little mini modules they call tiles. They make an oscilloscope that fits in there,
Oh,
which is kind of cool.
that is really cool. Yeah. Let's see if we can maybe queue up some sort of sequencer.
Yeah, I really want the O'Toole. The Mordax Data is like massively too much thing that I don't need it. It's like master clock generation and tuning and metronomes and all kinds of stuff. It's like 4 channels of oscilloscope at the same time.
Hmm.
The O'Toole is nice. It's 2 channel, I think, 2 channel or four channel maybe. It does all sorts of neat little things, but it doesn't have all those like ridiculous like clock generation stuff because I've got plenty of sources of that.
Hmm.
So now you want to probably put that into the second one.
Oh, row one.
Or the uh no, the first VCO.
Okay. So the
Don't use
gate.
gate. Don't use gate yet.
No. Should I
Like
use
you know
one
how
of the
right now you're playing that oscillator with your keyboard?
right?
Like just substitute the sequencer.
Ah, okay.
So wherever the gate is in the MIDI to CV,
Uh
like put that cable into the sequencer. And the Voltbrock put that into like row 1.
huh. Beautiful. Mm-hmm.
on there, those are pitch.
Right. And that's what I learned from the last one that I created. And so like row 1 is on the top, row 2 is in the middle.
Yeah, there's no exact thing. Like my Metropolis sequencer, you can select a scale and a root and stuff like that.
Okay. This you just have to go by ear.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so now take row 1 and put it into the V per octave of the first VCO.
Gotcha.
Or just pull the thing out of the MIDI to CV converter and
right.
put it into there.
I get the MIDI to CV just out of the way there. Oh my God, that sounds great.
Yeah, that FM stuff is really interesting. There's an oscillator that I'm kind of toying with buying. Actually, there's two of them. The Verbose complex oscillator and the Verbose harmonic oscillator. And they both do like West Coast synthesis, like FM style, really interesting sounds. But I don't know. Now you notice at higher frequencies you're getting different timbres also.
Oh yeah.
Because the second VCO, that frequency stays the same. So as you try to FM those two together, the one isn't changing. So like the harmonics that it creates and stuff are always going to be changing, which is interesting. It's kind of a cool thing. Do you have an LFO module?
I don't think I own. Well, oh yeah, I do. I have a couple of them. Yeah. So okay. You think
stick an LFO next to the second VCO.
An LFO 1 or LFO 2?
I don't know.
I'll just put a 1. Looks like there's more stuff on it. Next to the second VCO. Okay.
All right.
LFO's there.
Okay, I don't see it yet. So I should just be doing this along with you. Oh, I see. Yeah, LFO1. Okay, so then if you take the sine wave output and you put that into the V per octave input of VCO, the second VCO, and I would turn the frequency down pretty far so that it just...
On the LFO?
Kind of, yeah. So that it sweeps through FM frequencies, basically.
That is...
You probably won't notice a huge difference with the types of waves unless you crank the frequency up into that, like, lower range. Crank it up, crank it down. Okay, also there's a switch on the LFO, uni and bi. Put it on bi. So unidirectional means it basically starts from 0 and the voltage goes up from there. Bidirectional means it goes into negative voltages.
Hello, R2D2.
Yeah. Well, they did all of his noises was an ARP 2500 synth.
Oh yeah. You could tell when they converge and when they split apart.
Crank up your second VCO frequency too.
All the way?
Well, you can toy with it, see where it goes. That's the really cool thing, is it starts like literally generating brand new tones. Now, are there effects in there like delay and reverb and stuff?
I believe, yeah, reverb.
Okay. Plus
I got a texture synthesizer.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can use a cloud.
Yeah, clouds. Yeah. So from what I heard, did they discontinue actually making the physical clouds module?
I don't think so. There's a few that they've stopped and they've updated. Like they stopped making braids, but they upgraded it to plats, which is that macro oscillator. So the old version is the one next to it with the digital display.
Okay.
The new version is on the right, which just has 3 rows of 8 LEDs.
Ah.
The cool thing is you can buy, third-party modules, like ones that people have made that are like smaller, which is really cool. Like, micro clouds, and it's half the size. Yeah, the knobs are smaller and everything like that, but like when you're talking about space constraints and stuff, it's pretty great. I got mine used for 200, and I'm seriously considering like selling mine and replacing it with a small one. Okay, so that's not gonna do what you think.
Okay.
All right. That's not gonna do anything.
Yeah, because I don't have it going out to anything.
Yeah, put that in the mixer.
How? Out left to mixer?
Yeah.
So I would put on channel 2 there. Out left to channel 2. Okay.
What are you gonna put into it though?
Well, it's a synthesizer, so it creates its own tones?
It isn't really though.
Oh. So then it's probably going to need information from either one of the VCOs or the sequencer.
No, it's gonna need audio.
We need audio.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
the MIDI CV then?
No. Audio. So whatever you got going to your mixer,
Okay.
plug it into that thing instead.
Okay. Where do I plug it in?
Bottom left in L.
Oh, okay. I see it.
It's a grain table sampler. Okay. So it's really more like an effect.
Okay. Like a pedal for guitar.
Yeah, sort of, kind of. It's more than that. I'm not doing it justice, but like for these purposes, it's kind of an effect.
Oh, I hear what it's doing. Yeah.
It's really interesting, like reverby clouds. That's why it's called clouds. Okay. So if you turn like your density and your texture knobs, they do different things.
Oh yeah.
The size is the size of the grain. The position is like where you're playing it back from within the audio buffer. but it's opposite. So if you turn it right, you're starting at the beginning of it. And if you turn the blend up too far to the right, you'll start getting massive amounts of feedback. At least on the real thing. I don't know if it does it on this one. Yeah, you can hear that graininess in there now.
Yeah. Nope, that doesn't do it. I thought it would. Crunch, yeah, no, right.
Yeah, so different control things do different stuff. It doesn't always have the effect that you might think.
Yeah.
Now what you could do, by the way, is put that clouds module, that texture synthesizer, between your mixer and your audio 8.
Oh, like
and
just
use
physically?
it for everything. And mentally. And emotionally. Place it there with feeling. I got that output interface for mine today, which is nice. So I can use headphones with it now.
Nice.
And I got the quantizer today too, so that works really well. Yes, it's got a built-in sequencer and stuff too, which is kind of neat. I didn't know that.
Sweet.
I just wanted a quantizer. It's got extra features though.
All right. Well, we're gonna end the stream with a little bit of Cyberainforest. If you guys are interested in the setup for it, let me know. I could either email it to you or you could take a screenshot of screen. Hopefully you get things kind of set like this. Anyway, a little bit of Cyberainforest. All right, later, man. Thanks for joining.
Poof.
All right, folks, that's it for the live stream tonight. Thank you very much for joining. Maybe I'll come up with something new for a couple days. If anything, might do some more streaming of Interstellar Rift or some other games. I haven't played too many games lately. Been working on things, and yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for joining. We'll see you the next time. Later.